In the heart of Africa, nestled amidst the breathtaking emerald green hills of southwestern Uganda, lies a land steeped in legend and regal history. This is Ankole, or as it was once known, Nkore. A kingdom born from ancient myths and shaped by the rhythm of the land itself. The history and legend of the Ankole kingdom. The story of Ankole begins not on earth but in the heavens. Before there was a kingdom, there was Ruhinda, the creator. To establish order on the rolling green hills of southwestern Uganda, Ruhinda gave his 3 sons, Kaaro, Kahima, and Kakama, a test. He gave each a pot filled to the brim with milk and told them to hold it through the night until dawn. As the hours grew long, Kaaro fell into a deep sleep and spilled his. Kahima dozed and lost half of his, but Kakama, the youngest, stayed awake even using his brother's spilled milk to keep his own pot full. From this moment, the social tapestry was woven. Kaaro became the killer of the land, Kahima the guardian of the cattle, and Kakama the leader of the people, the first king. As the mysterious Bachwezi, the demigods of earth, began to fade into the mists of history, they left behind a legacy of iron and cattle. Ruhinda Njunaki emerged as the first historical Omugabe. He brought with him the Bajendanwa, the sacred drum. In Ankole, the king did not rule alone. He ruled by the grace of the drum. The Bajendanwa was believed to have a soul. It had its own palace, its own herd of cattle, and its own fire that never went out. To the people of Ankole, the king was merely the drum's caretaker. If the drum was silent, the nation was lost. The heart of the kingdom beat to the rhythm of hooves. The Ankole long-horned cattle in Nyambo were more than animals. They were a way of life. This was a symbiotic world. The Bairu provided the iron spears for the warriors and the grain for the feasts, while the Bahima provided the milk and hides. Together they expanded from the small hills of Isinjiro, growing into a regional power. The greatest test of kingdom came in 1520. The fierce King Olimi I of Bunyoro had swept across the land, looting the royal herd. He stood at the hill of Bihari, seemingly invisible, but the legend tells us that the ancestors of Nkore struck from the sky. In the middle of the day, the sun vanished. A total solar eclipse turned the world to midnight. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends and family. Terrified that they had stepped into a cursed land, the invaders fled, leaving behind the stolen cattle. The people of Nkore called these returned cattle Impendayamnoni, the cows of the sun. This event solidified the belief that the Omugabe was protected by the cosmic spirits of the Bachwezi. The 20th century brought the winds of change. In 1901, the British signed the Ankole Agreement, merging smaller chiefdoms like Buhweju and Igara into one great Ankole. But this golden age was short-lived. In 1967, following a political crisis in Uganda, President Milton Obote abolished all traditional kingdoms, the Omugabe.
I think I can now say that that's happened to this government. It's probable that I may have to visit Britain on official duties, and if Sir Edward would be there at large.
Sir Charles Gasyonga too was forced out of his palace. The sacred Bajendanwa was taken away, silenced and stored in a museum, stripped of its spiritual power. The fire that had burned for centuries was finally extinguished. Though the political throne remains empty, the kingdom of Ankole lives on. It lives in the Echitaguro dance, where dancers mimic the graceful spread of bovine horns. It lives in the Runyankole language and the poems recited over evening fires. Ankole is no longer just a territory on a map, it is a spirit that refuses to be forgotten. The journey of Ankole began in the late 15th century, roughly around 1450 to 1500 AD. It was forged by Ruhinda and Njunaki, a prince descended from the enigmatic Bachwezi. From a small fortified nucleus in Isingiro, Ruhinda laid the foundation of what would grow into one of the most influential interlacustrine kingdoms in East Africa. For over 400 years, a long line of Umugabe kings presided over a unique society, defined by its people, its rituals, and above all, its magnificent long-horned cattle.